Provost Miranda, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me this morning about our current COVID situation. It's good to see you today.
Hey,
Uh,
Rachel, it's good to see you again.
yeah, I was just hoping that you could give your insight to better illuminate our current status for the student body. And today, just speak a little bit. Would love to hear your opinion on how we best move forward. But first, something we have heard a lot from students is the level of fatigue and academic burnout and mental health issues that students are struggling with right now. And I know we've personally been able to have a lot of fruitful conversation on this subject, and we were able to share the language we got from students with you, and you've been really open and gracious to dialogue. What would you want to say to the student body on this topic?
Well, first, I want to make sure that students understand that there's a whole series of us in upper administration, including myself, who have college-age students right now. And so in addition to hearing it from our student body, we're hearing it from all of our own children, and that like hits your heart in a really compelling way. And I understand how stressful and anxiety producing this semester has been. I understand how hard it's been to go without breaks. We are working very closely with the faculty right now to see if there are things that we can do during the current semester to bring a little bit of a break to students in terms of the academic load that they're carrying. We're also working very hard in the spring semester. We're already planning to have a few days off as little mini breaks in the middle of the week. We're also working with faculty on thinking about ways to structure their syllabus, maybe spreading out assignments more. We're making sure that uh, high enrollment courses that students are oftentimes taking at the same time, that those exams are not on the same day. We're trying to do as much as we can to make spring semester better, even as we're trying to find some solutions for the fall semester. Reality is spring semester is going to be a lot like this semester. We're still going to be physically distanced. We're still going to be wearing masks. We're still going to have to be really careful all the time.
Thank you. Well, I appreciate you taking all of that into consideration, and I know students will be very appreciative as well. But now, just to get a little bit more into the nitty gritty, would you be able to give us an analysis of why we've seen the spike in cases recently?
Sure. So I think everybody's aware of that big spike that we had in August. And after we learned a lot from the students, I'm really grateful for the willingness of the students to give us a lot of feedback. We improved our testing, we improved our quarantine and isolation, we improved our contact tracing, all of that. And we had a really good and long time period where our case numbers were quite low. Uh, but, we had a night football game. And then the week following the night football game, the case numbers went up, and that was last week where you saw that rise in cases. So, I think it was probably due to a few things. It was a night football game. Despite all my gray hair, I was young once too, and I get that. And also, it was a beautiful day, so you wanted to be outside. You wanted to be playing with your friends. There wasn't a Foursquare tournament to occupy you otherwise. So it was beautiful weather. It was a night football game. I think there was a lot of fatigue about wearing masks. Like it's been a long semester and you just want to hang out with your friends and like kick back and take it easy. So I think there was mask fatigue, and I think there was a little bit of, frankly, resentment and rebelliousness about whether or not everybody was really following all the rules, and therefore maybe I'm not going to follow the rules. So the consequence of that was that we saw an increase in cases. Luckily, it was nowhere near what it was like back in August. I'm hoping that the whole student body uses that as another moment to learn that, yes, it's exhausting. Yes, we're stressed out. Yes, it's a time of high anxiety. Yes, we just really want to break from all of these rules, but we just have to hang in there. So Rachel, as you know, I have a countdown on my calendar every day. I feel it, maybe not to the extent that the students do, but I feel it myself. It's 31 days today
Wow.
till November 20th. And we just need people to hang in there and get back to really good compliance with the public health protocols on campus.
Yeah, that 31 days, that's wild.
Yeah, I'll share my calendar entry, my calendar countdown for anybody who wants it on their calendars.
Thank you. So I guess just moving forward, what do you think our path forward looks like to finish strong for the end of the semester?
Well, I'm hoping that we'll find some creative ways to introduce some space into all of that academic pressure that students are feeling, even this fall term. I think our faculty need to be in deep conversation with the students to understand what's going on with them. And we really need the students to recommit to those public health protocols. I'm willing also, in addition to sharing my calendar countdown, I have these two great dogs. They're English setters, and I'm willing for, residence halls that need a little incredible dog therapy. Just let me know and I'll bring my dogs by to visit. But I think we need to find these ways to, at the same time, let go of a little bit of the anxiety, but double down on the public health protocols. And that's not an easy path. And I am extremely sympathetic to everything that all of our students are having to deal with today. In my 30 years of being in higher education, this is the hardest time I've seen for students. And I know it's hard, and I'm still asking everybody to just double down on those public health protocols.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your heart in this. And I'm living off campus, but I would take the dogs whenever you need a break from them. I'd be happy. I think we'd love to see them around campus as
Well,
well.
maybe we can plan an event and I'll bring them to God Quad, except we'll call it Dog Quad for the small amount of time that they're
There you
there.
go. Sounds great. Well, thank you so much for all the hard work that you're doing. And I hope that we can do as you say and make it through this home stretch. And thanks
Well,
so much.
the thanks are really to the students and to the faculty. You guys are what make Notre Dame the community that it is, and I feel privileged to be able to serve as your provost. See you later, Rachel.